The 2025 Triumph Speed Twin. It's got more power, more tech, but would I be trading my keys in for one? I took one out for a test ride and I'm going to bring you along and let you know exactly what I thought of it. So let's get into it. So let's talk the power and performance. So it's a 1200cc parallel twin engine and the actual power delivery is smooth and seamless. There's no snatchiness in the throttle and there's no blips in the fuel delivery. It's a seamless, smooth power delivery. You can easily reach motorway speeds comfortably and there's plenty left in the bank. So if we're talking power and performance, then our braking is just as important as our power delivery if we're going to get the most out of the bike. And I've got to say, these beefed up 320mm radial discs do a great job when they're paired with the standard Triumph calipers. Now, I was keen to see how these performed because I know that the RS version has got an upgraded set of Brembos. So I was keen to see how they actually perform because I know on the street twin that I've got, when they came with the Nissan calipers, they were really lacklustre in their performance. And I've got a whole couple of videos on how I've changed the braking on my bike to sort of keep up with the bike's performance and improve it. So I wanted to see on the stock version of the Speed Twin, are these calipers up to the job or do you have to go for the RS upgrade to get the most out of the bike? But I've got to say they did a phenomenal job, absolutely fantastic, and yeah, great. So let's talk handling and suspension. So up front you've got a massive pair of Marzocchi upside down forks and on the rear a pair of sturdy piggyback shocks with preload adjustability. The riding experience itself is solid, the bike did exactly what I asked of it without hesitation, but personally I felt as though I was sat on the bike. There was something about the riding position and the feel which felt slightly more urban sports bike to me than traditional Bonneville. It felt more like I was riding my CB 1000R than a traditional Bonneville twin. It's definitely got a more upright urban street bike feel about it. So the move away from the dual beefy double clocks to this single round single display has not only removed a lot of its charm, but it's also hindered the rideability and usability in a sense. Now, despite all of the tech spec in terms like TFT, LCD, I found in bright sunshine at certain points of the ride, I couldn't actually see the screen display at all. Now, TFT stands for Thin Film Transistor, which is basically a modern full colour dashboard. It's meant to be clearer, brighter and more customisable. Yes, it has all the bits and bobs in one display, but if the light hits it in the right spot, there are times you can't see it at all. So the standard 2025 Speed Twin comes with two rider modes, which are road and rain, and it's got something called IMU-ABS. Now that is basically a smart intelligent ABS system which the bike knows how far you are leaning into a corner and how to adjust your braking should you do the braking at the wrong time, which shouldn't be braking into a corner, but just so happens if you do, if you end up in a sticky situation, hopefully this IMU system will help you get out of it. So let's talk the ultimate category, and that is personality. Now, we all know if a bike makes us smile and we are literally in love with that bike, it doesn't matter what things go wrong with it, what someone says about it, we're still going to hand over that cash because it just does something to us and we just can't live without it. So did the 2025 Speed Twin do that for me? And was I about to hand in my keys and sign my life away for a brand new 2025 Speed Twin? Well, in short, the answer is the Speed Twin lacks that retro personality. It is undoubtedly a lovely looking bike, but the earlier model seems to capture that retro essence. The 2025 modern tech seems to have overly influenced the overall styling and experience. Loss of things like the gated front forks, the twin clocks up front, and a more classic look with the paintwork options means that the 2025 version loses a lot of that original retro charm and appeal. Yes, the handling and the tech has come on, but those upside down forks, the bold 1200cc graphics, the little tank indents that you find on sports bikes, topped off with that single LCD display, has stripped away a lot of its original charm. And to top it off, for me, the sound just wasn't that rumbly classic parallel twin that I was expecting and hoping for. So there's also a couple of issues that I had with a few elements on the bike itself. The first of which was the switchgear. I didn't really get on with that at all. I found that the indicator switch was a little bit too low, a little bit not intuitive to where the thumb actually lands when you're holding the handlebar. And so when you're riding and initiating what you think is the indicator, a lot of the time I was pushing the wrong button. and I had to actually use the LCD display to see if I'd initiated the indicator or not. The other point was when you actually do manage to get to the indicator, the feel of the button is you're unsure whether or not you've actually pushed it. And so again, you're staring at the display to see if you're blinking with the indicator switch because you're unsure just through the touch whether or not you've actually initiated it. Another little pet peeve of mine was the side stand, and that was the fact that it wasn't easy to engage because it was obscured by the foot peg and the gear shifter. What I found I ended up doing was tilting the bike to the right hand side and looking over to the left so that I could almost see underneath the bike past the gear shifter and past the foot peg to find that little bobble to engage the side stand. So for me it was just a clunky piece of design that wasn't very intuitive, and it just added to another one of those little niggles that put you off the bike. In short, I had an absolutely amazing day's ride. It was a beautiful sunny day and I had a 1200cc brand new sparkly bike out of the showroom, so what's not to love? Yes, I had a fantastic time on the twisties. Yes, the bike was able to get up to those motorway speeds with ease with plenty more left in the tank. Yes, I had the stopping ability that I knew that bike was there to be responsive and get me out of any situations, that I could really push it and get the most out of it. Yes, yes, yes. But did I get off that bike smiling from ear to ear? And the answer was no. The overall riding experience was a little bit lackluster. It lacked that Triumph low-end grunt, that Triumph character that you just get, that essence. It felt more like a mainstream urban sports bike. And so for me, I won't be trading my keys in for the 2025 Speed Twin. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're thinking about purchasing the Triumph Speed Twin, hopefully this has given you a little bit of an insight. Put your comments in the comments box and let's get a bit of a discussion going. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are. Do you own a Speed Twin? Do you have a previous model? What do you think of the 2025 model? So all that's left for me to say in the meantime is safe riding, safe driving, happy adventures, and I'll see you in the next one. Going to start recording now.
I can't. It's so low. It's so nice to be on a lower bike.
This is higher.
Yeah, really.